Welcome to Let's Have a Talk with Keith. I'm your host, Keith, and I just wanted to give a short holiday message. I know that we're in between this holiday season, and as we look at Christmas, today we're going to have a talk a little bit about Christmas and COVID and really how much dependent we are, during this time of the year. It's hard because we have family members that are no longer with us, family members that may be sick and ailing. And because of COVID in certain places, we may not be able to gather, as we would like. But during this season, I put on my social media page that Christmas is not about what you receive, but more about what you give. And my little quote that I put on there is it's better to give than to receive. So this season, we have a lot to be thankful for. We have a lot to be grateful for. And most importantly, we do have a lot of gratitude that should be going around. And so we should not just use this time to huddle around and, figure out how much, money should be spent to show how much we care, but really just to let people know how much do you really appreciate them? How much do you really appreciate what they do for you and what you do for others? And continue to use that over these next 365 days. These seasons are also very lonely for people. We see a lot of people during this time of year commit suicide. Mental health is also very important. And so, as we are nearing the end of this year, we have 6 days left, in this year. But I hope that we spend those 6 days being very productive, thinking not only about how we want to end this year, but how will 2022 look for you? How is it going to look for our community? How is it going to look for our country? How is it going to look for our world? We have so much unrest, in our world. We have so much unrest in our communities. And sometimes it doesn't feel like there is an ending point. But I will say that it's up to us as community. And in my, previous series talking about dialogue and communication, moving into the holiday seasons and moving beyond, it's going to require a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue about where do we go, and most importantly, how do we get there? And so just use this time. I appreciate all of you who listen, to Let's Have a Talk. I appreciate all those who have come on. And next year, it's going to be action packed. I'm going to have one more. Maybe I might squeeze in two more for this year. One is just an overview on 2021, and another one is just going to be a casual conversation, on COVID and what do we really need to do in the face of this new variant. And it's not going to talk about, more of those conspiracy theories, but how do we become better community and better neighbors to each other? So during this, Christmas season and moving into New Year's, throughout this holiday season, spend this week telling someone, how much you appreciate them, because we all depend on someone, whether we want to believe it or not. We are all interdependent upon each other. And just expressing that gratitude and appreciation really goes a long way, because at the end of the day, it is not so much what we receive, but it is the essence and the spirit in which we give. So I want to carry that little short message to all of you. Merry Christmas. And we hope that as we move, into this next week, for those that celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. And I would encourage everyone to to go through Kwanzaa to see those seven principles. They're not just for blacks or for African Americans. That is a week of reflection that everyone, if you want to start your new year right, is what you should experience and read and absorb. And so this is what all of these holidays bring out. So it does not matter your religious affiliation or your theological perspectives. But one thing that Christmas does bring is a sense of unity around the world to give and do good. And so, no matter what your persuasion is, use this time, not just for Christmas, but this should be a 365, 366 on a leap year. This should be our dedicated goal every day to give, to give, to give, not expecting anything in return, but to do it because it's the right thing to do. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about, how is it really the right thing to do? And how has society really turned this upside down on its head? That's going to be, our next discussion headed into our end of the year conversation. So be encouraged, be inspired, be empowered, to be the best person that you can be. Not the best person that I want you to be or anyone else, but to strive to be the best person that you can be, not just during Christmas, not just during the holidays, not just for Thanksgiving, but how do we carry this all day, every day, for the years or the days or the months or the minutes that we have? How do we use that time to do good? So I appreciate you all and take care.